All right, this is the North Star demo. So you're going to get the bag that says North Star, you're going to have a large rectangle, and you're going to have a couple of smaller triangles. And you really don't need both of these, you only need one. So you could share with a neighbor or person that needs to use it. You could sit next to someone who needs to use it. And you're going to pick 3 colors. Typically we do a color scheme. This is more of an analogous. Pink's not really on the color wheel, but green and yellow are next to each other, so we just added pink. Looks good with them because they're kind of complementary colors. So you definitely need 3 colors for this, and you're going to start with your darkest color first. So I'm going to start with my green out of all these light colors. You want to start with your stencils, and you want to stick to the side that is the fullest, especially when you're taking something from the scrap bin. That's where this one came from. That's why it has cuts all in it already. Most of you will be starting with a fresh piece of paper, but if you're not, then you need to stick to the more solid side. And if you're starting with a fresh piece, do it anyway, just so you'll save the paper and we can use it for somebody else. Okay, I'm going to line these up next to each other, making sure that I'm utilizing the most of my paper and that I only have to make one cut for each of those sides anyway. So that'll really help when you go to make cuts. Really think about how to line up your stencils to utilize the most space. That way you're not wasting paper. You're really thinking consciously about how to use your stencil. And really thinking about everyone else, because you are not the only class that will be using the scrap boxes. I have still have 2nd grade who are going to use them to make some sculptures and whatnot, so definitely will be helpful for all of them, which will be great community involvement. It's good for you guys. So actually I only needed, I actually need 8, so that's good I kept going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you will need 8 of these. And make sure you have your practice sheet with you. I kind of have mine next to me over here that you can't see, but you have those in your sketchbooks. That's why I give those to you. So make sure you're using those to help yourself know how many of each shape you really need. Also, you can go back to the video and watch it again and check how many you're supposed to have. So again, 8 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, perfect. I'm done with this color, and I'm gonna just simply cut them out. Make sure that you're using nice sharp scissors. If your scissors are kind of small, like I'm using a much bigger pair, then maybe you want to borrow some from the 4th and 5th grade scissor bin, just so that you have a nice big pair to work with. And you can make these nice big cuts. Little scissors are fine. I mean, if that's what you like, then use your scissors. But if you would like something a little bit bigger, you're more than welcome to borrow the scissors. And I'm just going to make a little pile as I cut. And each person's going to get a small bag with your name on it. And what you want to do is, as you cut these, you want to make sure you put your pieces in the bag as soon as you cut them. That way they don't get knocked off by an elbow or a hand or someone just walking by and the breeze blows them away. So I'm going to put those in the side because I don't have a baggie right now. But I'm going to move on to my 2nd color, which would be my pink. And I'm just simply going to draw the shape again. And you're like, why would you do that? Because you're just going to end up covering up your shape. But actually, I'm going for my concentric shape. Remember, concentric means a shape within a shape. So what I'm going to do is simply draw a smaller shape within the larger shape. And you need to do all 4 sides. If you don't, then you're going to make it a little bit too big. If you want this to be precise and clean and perfect-ish, you can use a ruler, but I just freehanded it. So I'm going to also do my triangle. Now I'm only going to do 1 triangle. I'm only going to trace 1. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. I'm going to draw my concentric shape. It's supposed to look exactly like your practice ones we did on the pre-assessment. So think about how you colored that one, and it was layered with all these different colors, but each size of the layer had the same color. So that's exactly what we're doing, just with paper instead of coloring with marker or crayon or colored pencil, whatever you used. All right, now this is my medium. I'm gonna go ahead and set that in my pile, or in my baggie would be best. Now, the reason I didn't trace 8 of these is because it would be kind of like doing double work if I did that. Because now all I have to do is use my, the one I created, my second concentric shape, to go ahead and trace that. That becomes my tracer. Line it up with my line. Be really gentle though. You don't want to beat up your new little shape you just made. So you want to be real gentle with it, as gentle as possible. Again, we're using pencil, so if you're having trouble and you got a little whoop on there, that's okay. You can just erase it. No big deal. Lining them up so I can cut them really easily. All right, here are my medium triangles. I needed 8 of those again. And anything like this you really want to put in the recycle bin. Anything big like this you want to put in the scrap box. So that goes in the warm scrap box because it's a warm color. I need my third color out, doing my third set of concentric shapes. So I'm going to use my medium concentric shape to create my stencil for my last and smallest concentric shape. Remember, I'm doing 8 of those. So I'm going to use my square, trace it, oops, trace it. Sure you're holding your stencil down tight, or this will happen to you. If you're having trouble holding your stencil, ask a neighbor, ask your teacher, whoever's around you, and they will probably, most likely assist you, as long as you're asking nicely. Okay. Now, this is obviously going to cover that up. So I'm going to make it concentric, making it smaller. Remember, you can use your ruler. You can simply just freehand it. Mine's a little bit wavy, so I'm going to correct that a little bit with my scissors. I could also cut it a little bit smaller, but then you might run into it becoming a rectangle instead of a square. Okay, and then I look at that. Smaller, perfect. Put that in my pile. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my triangle. Cut that out. Again, you can use ruler or freehand or whatever you want to do with this. And then I'm simply going to trace 7 more of these. All right, and there we have our 8 small third layer of concentric triangles. Again, this is a large piece, goes in the scrap box, so the warm cool bin. And then these little pieces just go simply in the recycling bin, except for this one because it's one of my pieces. And there you have all of your shapes that go in your little baggie. They're ready to go and ready for you to apply to your black paper, which we'll go over in the next video.